of the world I land cruise. If you choose to, how you get. Now I got you on super unleaded fuels. Give me room, give me some space, your excuse. When I step up in the place, then yo, I step correct. Nah, that make you your neck. But I got you all in check. And you know we come through to wreck the discotheque.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Straight ahead, a rematch from Super Bowl 57. As it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Hurts throwing right away. And his first look is incomplete. You talk about this Chiefs defense. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. It's some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
And some space here. A solid stiff arm. Now he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 34 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starts right out of them.
And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
73.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Open man, complete to Humphrey. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll make it 2nd down. A handoff, Barkley running left. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Eagles are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Chiefs, nothing. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 35. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. First carry here for Ken Walker. And space tough to come by there, so we get maybe a yard to the 37. You look at this Eagle defense. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week. That pressure on the QB is key. And Kelsey's going to have a Chiefs first down as he's up to the 45.
First down. First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Yellow. All right, go, Lou. 15, 15.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The Chiefs had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're...
Look at right side, and it's intercepted. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
A first down carry for Barkley. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd down and 3. Here's Hurts to throw. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. In motion, the tight end. Hurts. He delivers another to Goddard, complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's 2nd and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And they move this all the way down to the 9. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Throwing is Hurts. Toward the pylon, caught. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? On the sneak, it's Hurts. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Jalen Hurts, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Well, this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
To kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. So the completion good for 7 there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Now Mahomes. It's Hill, complete. And he will have the Chiefs first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
Kansas City Chiefs, first down. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Hey, 43, 43. Yellow. Let's go on, 80. 15,
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The second quarter from KC. It's the Chiefs in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Fight on these two. 180. 43.
Trying the left side with Walker. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And he fires one incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all. And I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To throw, it's Mahomes. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they will finally catch him, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
43 yards. And a Kansas City Chiefs. First down. 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. This is the most important of them all, 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. And Xavier Worthy laying himself out in the end zone. And the Chiefs have got it back to within a score. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
And Hurts going to move him around.
The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll look to throw now on first down.
It's Barkley once again bringing in the catch. He's to the 15.
Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley. He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Elliott good on the extra point. And it's now 21-7.
Chiefs 7. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something, because right now, they're just cutting them to shreds.
On play action, it's Mahomes.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. Mahomes going to throw.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Attack! For a Kansas City Chiefs. First down.
Mahomes now to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Incomplete.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes.
That's complete, left side to Worthy.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Here's Mahomes to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Zach Bond. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Easy. Attack. Fight on these two.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mahomes. That is caught downfield. It's Worthy. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Now here's Mahomes. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Andrew Makuba on the coverage.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Yellow.
He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here's 3rd and 6.
Yellow.
Mahomes to throw once more. Now he's going to step up and run toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
No surprise there. He was looking for one of his favorite targets again as soon as he left the pocket. But the coverage was good downfield. They got right to the receiver and helped prevent that completion.
Butker's kick here is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
A gain of 15. And an Eagle first down.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Now Hurts is going to do it himself, and he'll just get rid of it.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 24-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Let's go. Trimmer.
Barkley inside handoff. And able to work his way down to the 16. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 16-yard line.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
A 33-yard attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
It'll be the Chiefs football to begin quarter number 3, and they trail here as we are back underway now on EA Sports. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going. And
all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Travis Kelce, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chiefs come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Butker on for the PAT. He's got it, and it's 24-17.
Makes the score Eagles 24, Chiefs 17. Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone, so this ball will come out to the 30 now. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, They know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Eagles.
Good. Set. Foul left, Yanni. Hey, 73.
Back to throw now on first down. A quick throw there is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's first and 10. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Great. Set.
Up the middle with Barkley. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
Set.
Back to throw here. Throwing middle, and it's complete. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Motion left, Smith. Here's a fake on the jet sweep as they'll go instead with Barkley. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Well, they've gotten it down to the 3, but now this is third and goal. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead now up to 14.
31. Chiefs 17. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback. And they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter. Went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown away to go, and we're right back where we started at halftime. Yeah, exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense? Looking to throw is Mahomes. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
A 9-yard loss. It's now 2nd and 19 at the Eagles' 45-yard line.
Hey, Ripley. Right side.
Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Eagles are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, the good news for them, they got the football. The bad news, they have to go 99 yards here as they start this drive out on their own 1-yard line. The third quarter action from Kansas City, 2nd down and 10. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
Hey, Silver. Hey, easy, 63,
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And he is caught. Across midfield. Devontae Smith. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith, 98 yards. And the Eagles are on their way to a 2-0 start. Elliott good on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Chiefs 17. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Throwing on second down, Mahomes. Throw left side complete. That's Walker. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play.
First down. First and 10 at the 45.
They're going to look to throw. And Mahomes will do it himself. And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andrew Makuba. And the Eagles will take over possession here up at the 44. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth-quarter lead. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6.
They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Call it a 4-yard pickup, but it leaves them a few inches short here on 4th down. They'll run for it with Barkley. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
And an Eagle first down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win.
180, 180.
Again, it's Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Running left, it's Barkley. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Big stop from a guy who can bring a big hit, Nick Bolton.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 85 yards rushing now for Barkley. It's a 1st down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, Keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia.
Act your age, ain't just the barbers where you catch a fade. Face covered, cutting through your garden like a masquerade. Before I catch a L up, catch a plane. I probably you before I your chain. Switch it up, it's rap, pixie dust. Money ain't to us. Broski went and you better fix her up. I just bought a crib to a chick, she got the biggest. And when I saw your sister rat with the fishing hook, listen up, I've had to hit the cup. So if I swing my fist,